computerized. From the Magic City, the sun and fun capital of the world, Miami, Florida, through the incredible speed of the MCR 315 computer, Warner Productions proudly presents the all-time heavyweight championship fight. Hi, everybody. This is Murray Warner, and once again, we're back at Miami in the jam-packed convention hall for the big one, the final night, the all-time heavyweight championship fight, with tonight's winner to receive the all-time heavyweight champion title and the magnificent gold and diamond championship belt, valued at $10,000, made for us by Regal Crest Jewelry of Miami. Tonight, featuring the two men who have weathered our elimination tournament through the computer battles of the past 15 weeks, and now stand on the threshold, the Manasseh Mauler, Jack Dempsey, and the Brockton blockbuster, Rocky Marciano. The all-time heavyweight tournament has been made possible by the cooperation of the City of Miami, Ring Magazine, Chris and Angelo Dundee, and Mr. Hank Kaplan. It would not have been possible without the brilliant programmers and genius of the people at Systems Programming and Services of Miami, Florida, and the National Cash Register Company at Dayton, Ohio, whose NCR 315 absorbed hundreds of thousands of data elements to arrive at this fight tonight. Now, we'll be back in just 1 minute with Guy LeBeau. Now, here's the man who'll be hoarse about an hour from now, Guy LeBeau.
Thank you very much, Maury Warner. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I know I'm delighted to be here. Jack Dempsey and Rocky Marciano, there never has been a match like this one.
Marciano was a great fighter, the only heavyweight champion to retire undefeated. 49 fights, 49 wins, and 43 knockouts.
Very, very true, but Dempsey is a legend. His fire, his courage, his will to win, his animal ferocity and cunning, his toughness and his punch. The Manasseh Mauler won 49 knockouts in 81 fights, and against some of the toughest opposition in ring history.
We interviewed a man who's cut from the same cloth, a truly great champion, one who's a legend to all people who follow the sweet science of Fistiana. Joe Louis, the mighty Brown Bomber, who was so great in that semifinal bout 2 weeks ago against Jack Dempsey. We asked him to pick one fight he would like to see from all the heavyweights that ever lived. Which two fighters would he put together?
I would like to match Marciano and Dempsey together. At least you know nobody would have backed up.
How do you think the fight would go that night?
Oh, I don't know. It's hard to say. If Dempsey didn't cut Marciano would have a good chance.
That's what fighting's all about, Guy. Guys that never back up, and we have two of them here.
Here's one, Jack Dempsey. 6'1" of blue steel, 191 pounds. Not a huge man, but a big one. And Rocky Marciano like a fire plug, but a fire plug with piston arms and iron fists and an iron jaw, too. 5'10" and a half, 184 pounds. A little man as heavyweights go, true, almost a light heavyweight, but he has put the big men away in this tournament. The giant, Jim Jeffries, the master boxer, Gene Tunney, and another giant of a man, Max Baer.
While Dempsey has handled Jim Corbett and John L. Sullivan, two of the best in the old days, and then that great modern hero, Joe Louis. Everybody's so excited about this one. I'm excited, the fans are excited, the insiders in boxing seem to be just as anxious for this one to get started as the rest of us. Here's Angelo Dundee's reaction.
Beautiful. This would be a war. This would be bang, bang, bang. Marciano and Dempsey has got to be the end of the greatest club fights of all time, because neither one is any kind of a boxer. Both can punch like the devil. Both have to get in close to punch, although Dempsey is a bigger man than Marciano. Tough fight. Decision, possibility of a TKO, late rounds, Marciano winner.
And here is how Chris Dundee, the matchmaker and promoter at Miami Beach, sees it.
I don't know. I'd have to take Jack Dempsey over Rocky Marciano. What kind of fight do you think it would be?
It would be a Pier 6 brawl. Both men throwing down and both men being down.
Jack Dempsey had 22 knockouts in a row when he went into the big championship fight with Jess Willard in 1919. That day, Willard got knocked down 7 times in the first round by Dempsey. Big Jess was unable to come out for the 4th round. Dempsey was the main attraction in the first $1 Million Gate. That was in 1921 against Georges Carpentier, the Orchid Man, at Boyle's 30 Acres. Dempsey knocked him out in 4. Then, after a decision over Tom Gibbons, Dempsey met Louis Firpo. And what a fight that was. Maybe the most exciting ever actually put in a ring. Firpo knocked Dempsey completely out of the ring in the first round. Jack came back to knock him down 7 times. 7 times. Dempsey knocked Firpo out in the second round, but the fans had gotten their money's worth. And after a 3-year layoff, Dempsey lost to Gene Tunney, then knocked out Jack Sharkey, was rematched with Tunney, only to lose it again in the famous long count fight.
And now, Nat Fleischer of Ring Magazine.
I'd pick Jack Dempsey to win that fight. Rocky Marciano was a fighter who possessed tremendous hitting power, but his hitting power was no greater than that of Jack Dempsey. As a matter of fact, I think that Jack Dempsey had as good hitting power as anybody in the boxing game in the last 50 years. But in addition to his hitting power, Jack Dempsey also was a very courageous fighter. He could take a heavy wallop, and in addition to all that, he was a man who possessed quite a bit of ring science, which Marciano did not have.
We'll be back with more comments on tonight's fight in 1 minute. Marciano had the wallop, like Dempsey. Ordinary men could not handle the Rock. He rang up 16 straight knockouts after turning pro in 1947. He won the title from Jersey Joe Walcott in 1952 in a thrilling fight, which Walcott led until Rocky knocked him stiff in the 13th. As champion, Rocky beat Walcott again, this time in 1 round, and licked other good fighters like Ezzard Charles and Archie Moore. Marciano retired in 1956, undefeated in 49 fights.
But Jack Dempsey could tag, and maybe he had the sharpest punch that was ever thrown.
Among the many people here tonight is the popular mayor of Miami, Stephen P. Clark.
Thank you, Murray. It's a pleasure to be at ringside here tonight because I'm a great fight fan and I'm anxious to see the outcome.
How do you think it would go?
It's hard to say, but, I have a lot of respect from Rocky Marciano. Rocky Marciano was a man that believed in taking 3 shots to get in 1. He had tremendous ability. He had a very strong body, whereas Jack Dempsey was a hard puncher and a slashing hitter. But I do believe that Rocky Marciano would have held his own against Jack Dempsey and possibly would have won by a slight decision. I saw Marciano hit, and this man would just physically tear an opponent to pieces with his shots.
I know there are some things that it might make very good sense for you to tell our audience about, though, Mayor Clark.
In the upcoming weeks, we have an excellent program that I'm sure that our listeners would like to know about and possibly attend. We have the Orange Bowl game, which is famous throughout the United States. We have the National Football League runner-up game. And, of course, this year we will have, for the first time, the Super Bowl game in the new Orange Bowl Stadium. I'd like to take this opportunity at this time to invite all of our listeners to come on down. We'd like to visit with us this year, and I'm sure that you will enjoy your stay. We have a lot for you to do.
Thanks, Mayor Clark, and that does sound like a fabulous sports season coming up. In a minute, we'll be back with some other expert testimony on tonight's fight, including an interview with Marciano himself. Back at Miami Convention Hall, this is Murray Warner with Guy LeBeau in the last minutes before the all-time heavyweight tournament championship fight between Jack Dempsey and Rocky Marciano.
And ladies and gentlemen, here's Hank Kaplan, the ex-president of the World Boxers Historians Association, whose research has been so helpful to us in putting these fights together. Hank, how do you think this match is going to come out?
This has to be the greatest war of all time. This fight may even surpass the thrills of the Dempsey-Firpo fight. What can you say in a fight like this except that the man who gets there the furthest with the mostest is going to win? I think that Jack Dempsey's superior ability to throw the short punch and possibly a greater ring-wise ability will eventually be the telling factor in this fight. It's got to be the tops for thrills. I believe that Dempsey will stop Rocky Marciano in the 14th round. I believe this will be the first knockout in Marciano's career.
Thanks a lot, Hank. And fans, we asked Rocky Marciano, too, for his very honest appraisal of Jack Dempsey.
Dempsey usually moved in, and Dempsey had all of the assets that, say, I had, with possibly more. Dempsey was a fighter, and it would have been blow for blow, whoever landed the better blow. I don't think the fight would have gone the limit. It would have had to be a knockout. I think he could knock me down, yes.
He could knock him down?
Yes, I do. Yes, I think I could have knocked Jack down, and I know that if he hit me right, he could have knocked me down. He possessed a real fighting heart, and this is where I think that we are practically in the same boat as the fighting spirit, which means so much in a fight. In this particular fight, I think it's whoever got the break being who landed a better blow early in the fight. We had about the same style, and we had about the same speed, if I recall. Jack, they tell me, would get tired in the middle stages of a fight. I have been known really never to take a breather and to fight 3 minutes of each round. I think that perhaps I might have had an edge in the middle rounds with Jack Dempsey.
Do you think the cornermen would be important in this fight?
Yes, cornermen are always important. I know that my cornermen helped me on a number of occasions when I had a bad eye cut. I would go back to a corner at times where I couldn't even see my opponent and was able to come out fresh and clean with a new look at my opponent. Cornermen have to think quick. They only have about 40 seconds to work on you. And I don't recall now if Dempsey was a cutter or a bleeder, but I had a great cornerman in Charlie Goldman and in Ali Colombo. These two guys really helped me on a number of occasions.
Thanks, Rock, and good luck in tonight's fight. We'll be talking with you after the fight.
And, ladies and gentlemen, this is Jack Kearns, Jr., whose famous father managed Jack Dempsey. Jack, Marciano, and Dempsey.
I think that would be World War III. I really do. I think that would be a fight, a real great fight. I really, in fact, I can't say who could win.
Somebody going to get knocked out?
Yes and no. It could go 15 rounds, and they both need 6 months of recuperation in a hospital. Because I think both of them would wear one another down proportionately and equally as they went. I think Jack was the harder puncher. I think he took as good a punch as anybody, if not better. But Rocky also took a great punch. Rocky, of course, fought 15-round fights, and Jack always knocked everybody out early and didn't have to go 15 rounds. But Jack had a pretty good trainer, and he'd have had him in shape for this fight. All things equal, it would have been a fight that, as I said, World War III. There would have been nothing to compare to it. It would have been a war. It would be such a close fight that if it went to a decision, it would be hard to say who would win. This is my picture of the fight.
You'd think that you might actually have a fight between these two guys where both of them are knocked down more than once and come up with a draw?
Very possibly. What rules are we fighting under since we boxed?
Florida Boxing Association.
Okay, under present-day rules. These weren't the rules when these fellows were fighting.
But now, they're fighting today. 8-ounce gloves. Ruby Goldstein is a referee.
It would still be a tough fight. If you gave them 24-ounce gloves and put buckets on their feet, it would still be a war and a great fight, no matter what happened.
Thanks, Jack. And now, our ring announcer has climbed into the ring. Paul Berman, getting his microphone, signaling down to the bell ringer. It's almost time to start. And here's Paul Berman.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our main event. 15 rounds for the computerized all-time heavyweight championship of the world. Three-knockdown rule has been waived. Scoring is on a 10-point plus system. Mandatory 8 count
Pause for a minute, then we'll be back with the start of tonight's fight. You can almost taste the tension in this jam-packed arena. Charlie Goldman and Doc Kearns yelling last-minute urgings up to their fighters. There's the bell, and here's Guy.
Thank you, Murray Warner. Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. The crystallization of 14 weeks of grueling elimination to make this historic contest. Both men out of their corners, touching gloves. Dempsey to my left, 6 feet 1 inches tall. Marciano, 5 feet 10 and a half. A great deal of similarity in their initial boxing stances as I watch them circle. Dempsey takes off first. Dempsey fires a left to the head. It is partially blocked by Marciano, and their hands are in a tangle out front and probably in anxiety. Marciano pumps a left to the body, and they clinch immediately out at the center of the ring. Both of these men, power-packed, dynamic punchers. What a standoff here in the first exchange. Referee Ruby Goldstein is the referee and has been for all of these matches in the all-time heavyweight tournament. He steps out immediately to separate them. Dempsey looks like a stalking tiger, and Dempsey goes to his best punch again. Here's a left to the mouth of Rocky Marciano by the Manasseh Mauler. Marciano takes, misses his own left to the head of Dempsey, and the Mauler rips a right to the body in turn. Marciano ties him up again. Both of these men have often been undervalued in their ring acumen, but they have plenty. Every small advantage will be exploited tonight. Every last reserve will be tapped. Now they're separated by Ruby Goldstein once more. Marciano goes into that deep crouch. Dempsey moving very quickly. Dempsey puts a left hand to the body. Marciano fires a left back to the chin of Dempsey. Dempsey is wild with a left hand over the head. Marciano comes back with a good left hand to the mouth that scores. Dempsey is now in close where he'd like to be most of the fight. Here's Dempsey whipping the body with both hands as Marciano has come up for just a moment, and now they wrestle on the ropes, and they're in a tangle once more. Dempsey's weight, 191 pounds. Marciano's weight, 184. Dempsey trim, Dempsey muscular. Marciano broader, muscular. Really not resembling, though, the traditional full-grown heavyweight. They're separated again at the center of the ring. Dempsey dancing up and down. Dempsey's good with a left jab to the face. Marciano blocks another left jab. Marciano moves to his left in a crouch. Dempsey fires a powerful left to the jaw. Marciano, however, is underneath that. Ducks it beautifully, but then takes a right hook to the face. It's, however, the lighter blow. Marciano puts right and left to the body of Dempsey inside. Dempsey now moving to his left, takes only half the force. Dempsey slides out of range. Neither of these men have delivered Sunday punches, nor have they cannonaded each other. At least, that's the way it seems to me. This round is one of mutual respect. It forecasts a fight that will show the ring intelligence as well as the physical ability of these men. Here's Marciano turning with Dempsey now. Rocky hooks a hard hook to the head. Dempsey sends left and right to the body. Marciano hooks with a right hand to the face. Incidentally, Marciano's mouth is bleeding. I think Dempsey has outpunched him this round. And here is Marciano bobbing and weaving, putting a left and right to the head. One misses. There's the bell.
The mutual respect each man has for the other's hitting power was reflected in that careful first round. Here's the bell and Guy.
Okay, Maury, no doubt the sports world is certainly second-guessing about this cautious beginning. Marciano sends a good hook to the head immediately of Jack Dempsey. Dempsey punches right back. There is a left and right to the head by Dempsey, and Marciano immediately ties him up. But Marciano keeps a hand free. He is working on the hands of Dempsey, and there goes that powerful hammer striking away at Dempsey's arm. So it may be that Marciano has a long plan of attrition to take care of Mr. Dempsey. Referee Ruby Goldstein now takes them apart. I think that Dempsey looks like he can throw faster than Marciano. Dempsey comes roaring back at the body when he gets the green light. Dempsey hooks with a right hand under the heart of Rocky Marciano. Marciano in turn looks a strong left hook to the midsection. Dempsey bangs a left up to the head. It misses. And Marciano hooks another ripping left to the midsection. Dempsey fires left and right to the head. Both telling blows, and Marciano again moves to a clinch. Marciano moves to a clinch. Marciano's reach 68 inches, Dempsey's 77. Marciano appears more intent, it seems to me, on cutting off the flurries, although he, I know, likes nothing better than a brawl, and you know that too. But Marciano will use several techniques and could more likely be coming to this fight with an actual battle plan. Now the referee has them apart. Marciano rushes at Dempsey's body again. Marciano drives a hard left to the ribs of Dempsey. Dempsey misses a left over the head. Dempsey lands a good right to the face. Marciano misses a left to the body. Dempsey dances away, hooking a good left to the face as he goes. And then coming back to drive a straight right to the head. Marciano is now bleeding at the nose. Bleeding at the nose. He's had trouble with that all during this tournament. Marciano drives a straight right to the mouth, springing off his legs as he does. Dempsey rattles the body with lefts and rights. This is a furious exchange. Marciano bleeding, packing a hard left to the body, but Dempsey driving a straight right to the mouth that scores beautifully. And Dempsey comes in close, and both men ram left hands to the body. Marciano misses a right to the head. Dempsey drives left and right to the body. This crowd is screaming. I can hardly hear myself talk. These guys are punishing each other with no let-up whatever. Dempsey is being pushed toward the ropes by Marciano, who bobs up and down depending upon where he is striking. Dempsey rips them out with a short left, is back again with a good right. Marciano misses a left to the head as Dempsey is dug in very low. Marciano sends a straight right to the head, which makes Dempsey stumble. But Dempsey keeps on throwing. Marciano keeps on throwing. Dempsey is getting in the greater amount of blows and somewhat stronger. Dempsey lands left and right to the mouth. Another left to the mouth by Dempsey. Marciano misses a left to the head, and that nose of Rocky Marciano's is going to need a lot of attention. You can bet on that. About 10 seconds left to go. Dempsey on the ropes, missing a short left over the head and sending a good right to the body, and another left to the mouth of Rocky Marciano. And Rocky Marciano is bleeding badly from that nose. There's the bell.
Charlie Goldman has pulled off another 40-second miracle. Marciano's nose cut is stopped. Neither man looks really hurt. There's the bell, and here's Guy.
The basic mental attitude toward fighting in these two men is quite identical. They've both been idolized by millions as a result. Dempsey breaks quickly. He attacks first again. Dempsey plasters Marciano at the midsection with a strong left hand. Marciano misses a left over the head. They're in a clinch. So Marciano is back to the break-the-flurry pattern. There's a huge world press corps out here tonight. Celebrated people of every walk of life can be seen and identified through this big arena here in Miami. The world is listening in. Referee Ruby Goldstein already with blood-stained shirt, separating the men on the far side. Marciano back to the fray. Marciano drives a good left to the body. Dempsey steps inside, and Dempsey, who needs very little throwing room, scores well now with a good left to the midsection of the rock. Marciano grapples with Dempsey. Marciano puts several lefts to the ribs, plasters the arm of Dempsey again in a semi-clinch, and now they tie each other up. Marciano back again to the pattern. Marciano counts on bringing his man to bay by tiring his throwing facilities. But with Dempsey, I'd have to say that using a surgeon's knife might produce better results. On the break now, Dempsey whips the left to the mouth. Marciano retires to bob and weave, draws Dempsey. Dempsey moving forward on him. Marciano bobs up, drives a straight right to the head of the Manasseh Mauler. Dempsey slips the blow. Dempsey scores nicely with a good right to the heart. Marciano ties him up again. Dempsey has from time to time been very effective in other fights with that strong solar plexus punch, one of the chief vital spots on the body. They're separated again. Marciano is destroying Dempsey's timing. Here he comes out of a clinch and fast. There's a solid left and right to the head by Marciano. Dempsey is caught by surprise. Dempsey retreating half a step. Marciano misses a left to the chin. Dempsey sends a left to the body, but Marciano zeroes in perfectly. Here's a left and right to the jaw. Here's another right. Dempsey is down. Dempsey is down. 2, 3, 4. He's all right. He'll take the mandatory count. He's up at the count of 8, and the suddenness of Marciano's surprise attack contributed as much as anything, I think. And now Ruby Goldstein is cleaning off the gloves of Dempsey, and we're set to go. The Manasseh Mauler scowling. Marciano poker-faced. They're near a neutral corner. And there's the green light. Marciano attacks again, driving a left to the chin, a right to the mouth. Dempsey moving in close. He looks all right. He's going to fight his way out of whatever might have hurt him. He makes Marciano miss a left over the head. Dempsey pulls back. Dempsey drives a torrid left to the nose of Marciano. Marciano beats Dempsey to the punch with a hard right to the mouth. They're taking alternate shots to the head and hard. Dempsey leaning in as he plasters Marciano with left and right to the face. Marciano rips a left to the mouth, a right to the head. They're about a foot apart. Seconds to go. Dempsey smashes the body with 2 left hooks, a right to the chin by Dempsey, and Dempsey is actually out-punching Marciano, coming back from a knockdown early There's the bell.
Doc Kearns barely kept from climbing the ring when Dempsey went down, slamming the apron and yelling at Jack. Get up, get up. There's the bell. Here's Guy.
Okay, Murray. Marciano is out of his corner in a hurry. He has a psychological advantage going, maybe something more. Rocky throws a wild left and right at the head, and Dempsey answers with a bombardment at the midsection. Rocky takes two hard lefts and rights at the body. Rocky misses a right over the head. Dempsey rips a good left to the middle. Rocky, who has been missing, jams Dempsey's chin now with a powerful left blast, and Dempsey and Marciano immediately tie each other up. What a furious flurry right at the beginning of round 4. When Dempsey feels he cannot, for the present, penetrate and be very effective at the head, he'll shift without signal of any kind to the body and vice versa. But the same rings true of Marciano, also a great ring workman. Dempsey, incidentally, shows no after effects of the knockdown. Across the ring, Marciano in a crouch, Dempsey in a crouch, but Dempsey still winds up the taller man. Dempsey sends a good right to the mouth. Rocky's head is blunt back. Marciano, though, flashes left and right to the head in return. Dempsey moves sideways, Rocky forward. Rocky misses a right to the head. Dempsey rips the body with a left hook. Marciano clips Dempsey a left to the chin. Dempsey at good speed again, I must report. Here's Dempsey ripping the middle with left and right. And Marciano misses the Manasseh Mauler with a left to the body as Dempsey weaves off to the left. Dempsey fires a right to the mouth. Dempsey is mixing his attack better than Marciano, I'm thinking. And here they are, overhead in a knot, which calls for referee Ruby Goldstein. Dempsey and Marciano appear to be effective at throwing from the short distance so far. The long-range firing is still to be evaluated by the NCR 315 computer. There has not been much. On the break, The Rock rams a left to the mouth, a right to the chin. Dempsey hooks his own left to the head of Marciano, and again, they clinch. Both men, I think, seem to wish to set the stage for the long exchange, but it could be related to ring position or momentary split-second advantage that would open the flurry. Marciano to the deep crouch. Marciano bobbing and weaving. Dempsey advancing on The Rock. Takes a good left to the jaw and a right to the chin from Marciano as he springs about a half foot off his toes. Dempsey moves to his right. He was caught for that. Rocky pivots. Dempsey drives a hard right to the face. Rocky was just a hair too slow. Rocky, after a beat now, puts left and right to the head. Dempsey, who appears unconcerned about the fireworks upstairs, decides to concentrate on the body. Here is the Manasseh Mauler ramming the chest for the left. Dempsey with a good broadside attack. Dempsey throwing a left to the ribs, a left and right to the body, leaning on The Rock. Rock hooks a short left to the chin. He backs to the ropes. Here's the left and right to the head by Marciano, both hitting hard, both scoring well, and now they can't get their arms free as Dempsey hog-ties Marciano's hands, which had been crushing his head. Marciano has so far in this fight concentrated chiefly on Dempsey's head, but it may be only because he's been most successful there. Here's referee Ruby Goldstein coming to separate them with seconds left. Dempsey, a noted body beater. There's the bell.
Dempsey, showing no after effects of that knockdown in round 3, scored right with Rocky in round 4. Both look okay. There's the bell, and here's Guy.
Okay, Murray. Already, Marciano and Dempsey bear the outward signs of heavy firing. Dempsey's been down once. It's pretty certain The Rock has felt like going down at least once. Marciano strikes first and fast. The Rock sends a left, which Dempsey catches at the temple. Dempsey is trying now to quickly adjust to the speed of Marciano and is wild with the left. Marciano wrestles with the Manasseh Mauler. Dempsey tries pumping the face. Marciano digs his chin down, and now all of the hatches are closed. Here's the clinch right overhead. You know, it's odd, but Marciano's nickname as a youngster was Dempsey. But who could have forecast? Here they are with the computer attempting to calculate the outcome of this battle. Dempsey has his back to the ropes on the break. Marciano pushes off him cautiously. Dempsey is well known to everybody everywhere for taking the slightest advantage and driving a quick punch after the break, but he won't do it this time. Now Dempsey comes driving back in. Dempsey misses the left. Marciano backs away. Marciano has a good shot at the body, and he's taking it, but Dempsey setting himself is throwing up ahead as well. Marciano gets out fast, but takes a light right to the face, and Marciano now returns. Marciano brings up a jarring left to the chin, and in close, shakes Dempsey with another left hand, and in close is pummeling Dempsey on the head. Dempsey and Marciano, with short, turning blows, are rapping each other's rib cages, and you've got to see this. Here's Marciano wrapping Dempsey's arm as if he's trying to nail it to his thigh. Now Dempsey and Marciano finally retire to a knot, really tight. These men have thrown blows that defy description as to power, but certain boxing experts believe that the actual throwing causes a loss of energy in the man who's doing it. So arm weariness can be making its gradual appearance. On the break now, Dempsey's looking for vicious left to the body, follows with a right under the heart at dynamic speed, and Marciano's definitely jarred and goes to an immediate clinch. Marciano was jarred. Dempsey had been at full stance for this, and Marciano could not expect, and I don't think anybody here did, that the shots were going to come at the body. Marciano is definitely stung. Now here's referee Ruby Goldstein to take them apart. Dempsey rushes back at the body at once, and now these two brick throwers savagely attack each other's midsection. Here is the Manasseh Mauler ripping a left to the body, a right to the heart. Marciano pounding fast at the chest with both hands and hard and scoring. Dempsey moving to his left, hooking two lefts to the ribs, a right to the body by Jack Dempsey, another right to the body by Dempsey. Marciano fires a right to the head. Dempsey is still working busily at the body. Dempsey puts a light right to the head, and it's the first head blow of this round for the Manasseh Mauler. Marciano rips left and right to the chin, and Dempsey is shaken by the right. Dempsey is shaken by the right, but comes fighting back. Marciano lands another left to the chin. Marciano, with excellent reserve, has brought this round even after Dempsey jarred him just a little short time ago, and now he shakes Dempsey with a good head attack. Here's Marciano ripping a left to the cheek. He grazes the jaw. There's the bell.
Rocky and Jack both threw caution to the winds last round and were jolted for doing so. What a battle this is. There's the bell, and here's Guy.
Dempsey and Marciano all come out very quickly. Rocky cocks his right, is in the crouch. Dempsey climbs all over him with a flurry at the body, and Marciano immediately ties him up. No clear battle plan for either man has been applied for several rounds. Marciano forecasts that the lucky punch or the better punch will decide the fight, but these men are battling with the fluid direction of today's modern armies. Now off the break by referee Ruby Goldstein, Dempsey comes roaring out of the clinch. Dempsey fiercely attacking the head of Marciano. Here's a left and right to the head by the Manasseh Mauler. Marciano takes these brutal punches in very good form. Marciano weaves away from another left hand, blocks a Dempsey right hand thrust, and now zeroes on Dempsey's chin for a good left of his own. Dempsey and Marciano tangling left and right hand respectively as they meet on a collision course in midair. Boy, what a way to shake hands. Marciano now backing off and coming forward. Here's Marciano with a fierce left to the mouth. Marciano again backing up to the fury of Dempsey's attack as Dempsey sends a left to the midsection and a right to the head. And Marciano now equalizes, bringing up a left to the chin, leaning on Dempsey's right shoulder. He finds room to drive an uppercut to the mouth. Dempsey's left is wild to the mark, and there is a clinch. Dempsey, apparently confident that he had hurt Marciano by the body blasting in the previous round, had decided to try for the finish right here and now. For a few seconds, it looked like either one might be finished. Their heads were just popping back with each blast, their ability to take incredible. Ruby Goldstein is giving them an extra second to catch breath. Out at the center of the ring, Marciano bobbing and weaving. Marciano in a crouch. Dempsey is in a fairly deep crouch. Dempsey rushes at the body. Dempsey rams home the left to the side of Marciano. Rocky clips the chin with a strong left-handed turn. Dempsey winging at the sides with lefts and rights. Another left and right by Dempsey. Dempsey retreats though now from a hard right to the jaw. Thrown beautifully and scoring well. But Dempsey comes right back. Here's the Manasseh Mauler. Here's a vicious right to the body. And Marciano just leaps at him. Dempsey has to fall back a step or two. Dempsey's close to the rope. Marciano digs a good left to the body. Marciano pumps the right under the heart. Dempsey trying to find throwing room for his left to the head. But Marciano, with electric jerks from one side to the other, is avoiding Dempsey's very close quarter shots at the head. Marciano rips the hard left inside. Marciano brings the right up under the chin. Dempsey jolts Marciano at the mouth. They just keep throwing. Dempsey steps to the side, moving from the rope. Marciano backs up for just an instant to sight his target. Marciano misses a left drive at the head. Dempsey's left is blocked by the rock. Another brutal round, apparently without design. Each man seeking split-second advantage. 10 seconds left to go, and they clinch overhead. Marciano and Jack Dempsey at Miami Convention Hall for the all-time heavyweight championship. Now they're taken out to the center of the ring again, and there's the bell.
Both fighters now showing the red body welts and bruised and battered faces of the tough road they're traveling. There's the bell, and here's Guy.
Okay, Murray Warren. Jack Dempsey, by the way, is the first fighter to develop the aggressive style. The kind we're seeing here tonight out of both. Rocky draws first blood here in round 7, sending a straight right to the head of Dempsey and hard, but missing the following left. Dempsey wheels in to cover his man beautifully, swiftly, furiously, with 2 good shots to the face of Marciano. Rocky comes back to dig 2 rights to the body, slashes Jack's arm before he is clamped completely, and they're in a tight clinch. Many opponents of Marciano have agreed that his studied tattoo at the arms take a terrible toll over the long route, and lifting the arm becomes a mighty chore. Now referee Ruby Goldstein gives them the green light. On the break to my left, Dempsey, who has doorknobs over the left eye, fires a good left to the head. Rocky blocks the right, which comes swarming in. Rocky moves away. Dempsey comes forward. Marciano misses a left to the head. Dempsey weaves off to the right. Dempsey faking with the head. Dempsey has Marciano mixing up signals, and the Rock takes a solid left and right to the mouth, and a good left and right to the head, and he moves into a clinch. Rocky said recently that bombs on the head do not bother him. Good luck. Now Goldstein breaks them up in the center of the ring. Rocky puts a left to the body. Dempsey blocks well at the midsection, but Rocky, taking a step to the side, now powers right through the right-hand guard and forces a good left at the side of the Manasseh Waller. Rocky makes Dempsey miss over the head. Rocky hammers a good shot to the midsection. Jack wings the chin with a solid left hook, and Marciano has to take cover immediately. The Marciano in this fight seeking the clinch as a way of life. Rocky, who never has run out of gas, can pace himself. And that is one of the factors, undoubtedly, of his energetic battling in every round of every fight. Rocky now comes off the clinch, and Rocky's throwing. Here's a solid right and left to the body by Marciano. But Dempsey answers the heavy attack with a vicious short burst at the body of the half-crouching Marciano. Believe me, he is tough to hit in that position. Again, they exchange bombs at the middle. Both are being hurt. They're right near my microphone. Here is a giving of the knees ever so slightly as each Marciano and Dempsey is heavily racked at the body. Dempsey finds Marciano with a little left and now a right to the mouth. Rocky is becoming even more hard to hit. Heavily racked at the body. Dempsey finds Marciano with a little left and now a right to the mouth. Rocky is becoming even more hard to hit. Marciano, who shoots from the haunches, leaves little avenue for striking. Dempsey now at long range. Dempsey with a good left to the mouth that slows the Rock. Dempsey from the crouch. Dempsey firing a good left and right at the jaw and hard. Dempsey blasts off from spring at the toes and is getting fine firing power. Here's Marciano with a straight right to the face, but here's the Manasseh Waller with a left and right to the jaw. This is furious, but Dempsey is having things his way. Seconds left to go. Here's a hard left and right to the head of Marciano. Another thunderbolt to the head of Rocky, and another left and right to the jaw of Marciano. There's the bell.
Dempsey must be wondering what it's going to take to drop Marciano. He landed his Sunday punch last round, and the Rock's still here. There's the bell, and here's Guy.
In the shifting directions each man has taken, it must be reported, Marciano was skimpy with any head attack in the previous round, landing 1, possibly 2 blows. Marciano outclassed. Here's Marciano crashing Dempsey quickly with a left hook to the head. Dempsey fires in his own left hook and lands. Marciano, of course, is a vaunted body puncher. Marciano now makes Dempsey miss the left over the head. Marciano sends left and right hard to the jaw. Dempsey rips the body with the right hand under the heart, and Marciano fades off to the right. Dempsey rushes after him. Marciano turns. Marciano smashes a good left to the mouth. Dempsey unmindful of the blow. Dempsey is in a deep, deep crouch now. Dempsey looking up, drives left and right to the head, and Marciano calls for the clinch. Dempsey and Marciano do not discernibly have a loss of firing power hitting from a crouch. Many experts believe there is even a gain, and that it adds to the hitting strength of these two in the ring tonight. Now they're parted by Goldstein. Here's Marciano off the break, driving a solid right to the heart, and it pushes Dempsey way back. Dempsey's guard goes up, but Marciano covers the body. Marciano rips the head. Marciano scores with a good left to the chin, a right to the jaw by Marciano. He's throwing faster than at any time in this fight. Dempsey misses the left over the shorter man. Marciano's on target. Marciano blasts left and right to the jaw, and Dempsey is down. Dempsey's down. 2, 3. He's on his pants, looking bleary-eyed, but he'll be okay. He'll get up at 9. He is. Marciano's second knockdown of Dempsey, coming virtually the same way, with lightning, with surprise, and precisely with Marciano forecast. Referee Ruby Goldstein checking Dempsey, who looks okay. Dempsey moving around nervously, looking at Marciano. He's standing tacitly in the neutral corner, and now they meet head-on in the center of the ring. Dempsey appears all right. The knockdown apparently represents no relationship to a deteriorating situation. Here's Marciano ripping hard at the body again, apparently well-informed that Dempsey is a million miles from a knockout. His patience has got to continue. Here's Marciano ripped with a left and right to the mouth by Dempsey. Dempsey in a very good attack. Marciano and Dempsey now standing toe-to-toe, left and right, flying at the head. Half of them wild, some blocked, the others crashing in, very likely a little off target. So much of this is emotional. Each man simply wants to finish the job here and now they move into a welcome clinch for everybody. Ruby Goldstein takes them off the ropes, out to the center of the ring. They are battered. Rocky Marciano showing blood stains as the fight now continues, but I don't know how. On the break, Marciano puts a hard left to the head. Dempsey flips his own left to the chin. The blows are light, but no one here should mind or misunderstand. About 8 seconds left, and here's Marciano putting a left and right to the head. Dempsey sends a good right to the face, a left hand to the jaw, and each blow is being thrown with effort, real effort. There's the bell.
Dempsey's been down twice in this fight, and each time has come winging back to punch his way out of trouble. There's the bell. Here's Guy.
Okay, Murray. The winner of tonight's fight gets a $10,000 gold and diamond belt. Here's Marciano coming out quickly. The Manasseh Mauler there to meet him. Marciano puts a left to the mouth, but Dempsey rushes at him to tie him up. Dempsey, who innovated aggressive, savage boxing style that we're seeing here tonight, has with some regularity usually slowed in the middle rounds. Marciano, though, never slows in any portion of any fight. Ruby Goldstein separates them. The crowd here tonight in Miami Convention Hall is seeing everything it came for and more out of the clinch. Dempsey at very close quarters, body to body, hooks the chin of Marciano. Marciano wants a little bit more throwing room. Can't get it. Springs up, tries left and right to the head of Dempsey. Dempsey stays on top of the rock. They pummel and wrestle inside. No heavy blows, though. Out at the center of the ring once more. Marciano digging the body. Marciano hammering the iron. Dempsey has his head under Marciano's chin, giving you a good idea of how low he's crouching. Dempsey trying to find a shorter route to the jaw, but Marciano frustrates him. Marciano bobbing, Marciano ripping the arms, and both men now tire at this futile adventure. They go into the clinch. Marciano and Dempsey have shown remarkable similarities in their careers for fighting back after being knocked down several times and winning. Separated now out at the center of the ring. Dempsey rushes at Marciano. Marciano steps back a little to the left. Marciano drives a good hook under the heart. Dempsey smashes the body with the left hand, but Marciano is underneath with a bursting blow to the middle. Marciano swiftly at the head of Dempsey. Here's Marciano with a solid left. Dempsey falling back. Marciano with another left hook to the mouth. Marciano drives a straight right to the jaw. Here's a left hook to the head, and Dempsey is down. Down for the third time. Here's the count. 3, 4. He's on his side, lifting his head, getting up. 8, 9. He is up at the count of 9. Up at the count of 9. Marciano wants to race at him immediately. He is being waved back by referee Ruby Goldstein. Marciano wants it here and now, but he'll have to be patient. Ruby Goldstein is now wiping the gloves off of the Manasseh Mauler and gives them the green light. Dempsey visibly weakened, though. Here's Ruby Goldstein getting between them as they move into a swift clinch. And now out at the center of the ring again, Marciano goes flying in, but Marciano is met with a good shot to the face. He was careless, and the eye is cut. How about that? A left and right to the head by Dempsey. Dempsey holds with an arm and pounds the body. And this is another sensational round. It seems Dempsey was so intent on offense that being struck virtually seems to come as a surprise, and it seems to fold him as much as anything else. Seconds remaining. Marciano sends a murderous left to the head, but Dempsey comes back with a good left and right to the mouth. Another left to the jaw by Rocky Marciano. Dempsey coming back after a third knockdown. The bell.
Three times Dempsey's been down, come roaring back. Rocky's eye cut, now okay. Both men are showing the wear and tear, and here's God.
Has Dempsey ever fought a heavyweight with a body-hitting power at Marciano? The NCR 315 computer persistently expresses doubt. At the center of the ring, Dempsey tries a left to the head. Marciano bobs away. Dempsey shoots another left. Marciano puts a light right to the body. Both men have completely abandoned the left jab like it's been legislated out of business. Marciano moving to the left. Dempsey scores with a good left to the mouth, but Marciano drives him off with a fine left hook right cross. Marciano pressing Dempsey. Dempsey goes into a deep shell. Marciano driving hard for the head with left and right, but Dempsey now is completely covered up, and Marciano can't find his prey. He backs off. Here's Marciano with an uppercut with the right hand. Dempsey levels the left at the chin and turn. Marciano again back at the head. Left hook, right cross. Dempsey puts a vicious left to the body. Marciano asks for the clinch and gets it. Dempsey is the most notorious belt line hitter in the history of the business. The easiest place to damage a fighter is in that little soft area above the belt. Marginally legal. And Dempsey is a master at rifling that blow home. Separated again. Marciano's attack temporarily slowed by Dempsey's hard shot to the body. Dempsey and Marciano for the first time now at long range that I can remember in this fight. Here's Marciano feinting a left. He has enormous facial damage. Dempsey as well, but their stamina defies comparison. Marciano lands a left to the chin. Dempsey drives left and right to the body. Marciano meets the challenge at the midsection. Here they are, belting each other furiously, landing everywhere. Dempsey and Marciano. Here's Dempsey coming out of the melee briefly, sending himself, hooking a hard left to the side, trying to cave in Marciano. Here's Marciano putting a left and right under the hard, and Dempsey is stung on that rally. Marciano rips another right to the body. Marciano in close. Here's a savage left to the chin. A hard uppercut brought to the jaw. Dempsey down. Dempsey is down again. Diffused by Marciano. But he is getting up. You can't keep him down. He's been down 4 times. 8, 9. He is up at the count of 9. Up at the count of 9. 4 times in this fight he has been down. And there is the greatest fighting will sports has ever known, and which has inspired a generation. Here's Ruby Goldstein doing a swift job now of cleaning Dempsey's gloves. And there's the green light. Marciano races across the ring. Marciano is at the body, pushing Dempsey back. Dempsey simply wants to grapple with him. Marciano cannot get a clear shot. Dempsey's intention now is to hold, not to fight back this particular time. There isn't the strength there was earlier when he fought back after a knockdown. Neither man has the strength left, I think, and Marciano becomes a willing member of a clinch just overhead. Ruby Goldstein comes back to separate the two men. They circle. Marciano puts a left to the mouth, a right to the jaw by Marciano, but again, Dempsey ties him up. And Marciano must be wondering what's needed to keep this guy down. There's the bell.
Rocky Marciano was receiving instructions from Charlie Goldman between rounds, while Doc Kearns was really pouring it on Dempsey. There's the bell, and here's Guy.
Okay, Murray, and incredibly, here comes Dempsey, and fast, and mad, and blasting Marciano with a quick left to the face, and Marciano wisely goes to tie him up, and Jack is a very unwilling bronco in there. Dempsey trying to wrench away from Marciano, The Rock wrestling him, and finally Ruby Goldstein speeds to the scene. Scores of celebrities are here tonight at Convention Hall. Actors, politicians, writers. On the break now, Rocky jumping off first. Rocky bobbing up and down. Rocky rips a left to the mouth, but Dempsey with great accuracy moves to the left, hooks twice to the nose, and Rocky's nose has gotten bashed again. How about that? Marciano got bashed again after having Dempsey down a 4th time. Marciano now goes low. Marciano sends a hard left to the ribs. Dempsey misses over the head. Rocky drives another left to the body. Dempsey blocks a right. Dempsey drives a vicious left under the heart, and Rocky ties one arm and drives 2 lefts into the body as Dempsey then tightens the clinch. He doesn't want Rocky's hammer shots at his body or arms. Not now. Marciano's nose is bleeding badly. For a while in his fight with Bayer and Jeffries in this tournament, a TKO loomed as a result of that busted beak. At the break now, Rocky comes flying at Dempsey and risks that nose again. Dempsey moves left, flashes a good left hook to the face again. But Rocky's inside. Rocky hungrily attacking Dempsey at the body. And Dempsey is bombed with a left to the heart and a right to the midsection by The Rock. Here's Dempsey looking for an opening at Marciano's chin. He misses a left. He sends a straight right to the head, but Marciano slips back. Dempsey pulls away. Dempsey tries another right at the face. It lands but lightly. Marciano and Dempsey are tied. Since Jack Johnson and Bob Fitzsimmons, Dempsey is regarded by many as the best body puncher. But I would have to give the nod to Marciano for power on tonight's performance. But Jack could land that solar plexus punch and could land more accurately and deadly. Here they are at ring center. Rocky bobbing and weaving, bleeding at the beak, feinting a left at the body, less than a minute left to go. Here is Jack Dempsey firing a good right to the midsection as Rocky moves to the left. How hard these punchers are no longer is open to description. One can only imagine that some are losing power as the bout continues, of course. Here's Rocky moving in at Dempsey, whose attack is less furious now. Rocky hooks left and right to the body. Dempsey retaliates with a hard shot to the heart, then fires a corking left and right to the mouth. To see him change direction and be always in perfect hitting stride is a beautiful sight to behold. Here's Rocky moving Dempsey. Here's Rocky ripping the side with a right, and they tie each other up. Rocky at the signal again is at Dempsey's body, and Dempsey has the same idea. Here's an exchange of good left hooks by both men. Marciano pounds the side to the right. Dempsey shoots for the head, lands a beautiful left to the face, a right to the jaw at the bell.
What a man this Dempsey is. After being down in 3 straight rounds, he came back to force the fight, busting the Rock's nose open again. There's the bell.
Okay, Marciano and Dempsey at ring center are moving swiftly to action. Marciano misses a left to the head. Dempsey puts left and right to the mouth, and Rocky immediately accepts the challenge, sails for the body, but Jack ties him up. Dempsey's return to an equal status with Marciano after knockdown simply defy explanation. The cliche terms of raw courage, fighting heart, you simply have to accept them and use them. Dempsey and Marciano in the fight the sports world has been waiting for. Now out at the center of the ring, the men are again at long range. Marciano has a left lead, pumping up and down in Dempsey's face. Dempsey dances up and down. Both of these battlers apparently now want to view the long perspective. Everything else that has gone before has seemingly been futile. Dempsey jabs the left, misses. Marciano comes wading in, puts a hard left to the body, and man, Dempsey stands flat-footed. This is the first time I've seen this. Dempsey rips 2 strong hands to the mouth that stagger Marciano. Dempsey jumps at Marciano's head. Marciano's retreating. Dempsey shoots another left to the head. Marciano has apparently been stung, and stung hard. He misses a wild left and right over the head, and Dempsey shakes him again with a vicious left hook to the face. Marciano grabs him against the ropes and now holds him to prevent any further destruction. What about that? Dempsey, who is a great athlete and able to find split-second balance whenever he needs it, simply stopped dead in his tracks, noticing Marciano dead in his sights, bombed him brutally, and Marciano nearly blew the whole thing right here and now. Here's Ruby Goldstein taking them apart. Marciano on the retreat. Dempsey tries a rush. Dempsey sails in with a left to the jaw. Marciano ties him up again. Marciano punishes the body just before the clinch attracts Ruby Goldstein. This is Guy LeBeau and Murray Warner. This is round 12 between Dempsey, the most idolized fighter in the history of boxing, and Rocky Marciano, the only title holder who never lost a fight. Here's action again at the center of the ring. Here's Dempsey flying back at Marciano again, but at the body he misses a left to the side, misses a right, and now exchanges hard rights to the midsection with Marciano, who set himself well after the miss. Here's Marciano slipping a bit to the left, and here's Marciano wild with the left hand to the head and hooks the body with the right hand. But Dempsey whips the inside with powerful lefts and rights, and Marciano again has to give ground unwillingly, but he does. Here's Dempsey hooking again to the mouth with the left and right, and this simply has been a bad round for the blockbuster from Brockton, Massachusetts. Here's Marciano again, tagged by a left to the jaw, but he returns a hard left to the body of Dempsey, and they move into a clinch right over a microphone. Ruby Goldstein is summoned with seconds left to go. Dempsey is finding the range again, and here's Dempsey with the left and right to the mouth. 2 hooks to the head by Dempsey, and Marciano's timing is definitely off. He simply can't get zeroed in. The bell.
Dempsey outpunched Rocky in round 12. Where he got it from, I don't know, and I believe he surprised Marciano with his stamina. There's the bell, and here's Guy.
Okay, Murray, Dempsey's very fast at the trigger. He wants to keep the advantage, and here he is, belting the Rock with a good left to the face, but Rocky seems okay. Rocky bombs the head in the challenge with a left. He backs off. Dempsey misses a right. Rocky closes in, but his right to the head is blocked by Dempsey's flying hand, and they tie up just overhead. Dempsey's been down 4 times this fight, but body shots set him up for the knockdowns. On the break now, Dempsey in the center of the ring, circling, dancing up and down. Rocky bobs and weaves. Rocky springs at Dempsey. Dempsey can't get out of the way. Jack has to take and fight. Rocky scores with a solid left hook to the head. Dempsey tries to sustain him. Rocky in close, rips left and right to the mouth. Dempsey scores with a left hook to the head. Hands are flying everywhere in the head region for no explainable reason. A tremendous explosion of head punches out there at ring center. It's toe-to-toe. Dempsey and Marciano. Man, it's mean. It's mean out there. And Dempsey has fallen. Dempsey has fallen. The count 3, 4, 5. He's getting up. He'll be up at the mandatory count of 8. He is up. But Dempsey went down for a 5th time. Ruby Goldstein cleaning Dempsey's gloves. Pandemonium here at Miami Convention Hall. This fight came back to the brawling stage without warning. And here they go again at ring center. Marciano immediately at Dempsey. Dempsey throws a left and right to the head. Marciano rips left and right to the mouth. Dempsey moving and throwing. This is it. Apparently these guys are on collision course. Dempsey fires at the body. Wings Marciano at the face. Rocky low. Ravages the inside. Rocky bullying Dempsey. Rocky forces him back with a brutal right to the body. A left to the head. Dempsey pounds the body in turn. Marciano still whipping the midsection. Tons of power. Something someone has to give. Dempsey rips a left to the chops. Marciano drives a straight right to the mouth. Here's Marciano, a left hook to the head. Marciano has Dempsey against the ropes. Here's a right to the body. Dempsey pummeling the head. Rocky bobs, comes up with a wicked left to the chin. A right to the head by Marciano. A fierce left to the face by Marciano. Marciano blasts a left to the jaw. A right to the head. Dempsey only feebly replying. Marciano again at the head with left and right. Left and right. There was a brutal shot at the heart. A left and right to the jaw. And Dempsey is down. Dempsey is down again. 2, 3, 4, 5. He's not getting up. 7, 8, 9, 10. He's out. He's out. Dempsey is out. Rocky Marciano wins. Rocky Marciano has knocked out Jack Dempsey here in the 13th round in this convention hall, which has simply gone wild. Wild. It's impossible to speak. But you know that Marciano did knock Dempsey out here in the 13th round. That's it. Come in, Murray Warner.
What a wild finish to our computerized fight. Rocky Marciano, the all-time heavyweight champion of the world, unable to contain himself, dancing around the dream ring, grinning from ear to ear. Doc Kearns and Ruby Goldstein helping Dempsey into his corner. Charlie Goldman, now in the ring, trying to settle Rocky down. This place is bedlam. Police surrounding the ring now. Paul Berman in the ring, signaling for quiet. Let's join him. Marciano, battered, arms around Charlie Goldman, dancing up and down in the ring. Ali Colombo, unable to control himself, tossed the towel clear up into the ring lights. Now Marciano going toward Dempsey's corner, leans down to exchange a few words with Jack. They shake hands. Doc Kearns, unsmiling, congratulates Rocky. Marciano once again raises his arms over his head, goes across the ring and hugs Ruby Goldstein. Almost stumbles as he whirls again. Arms over his head. Rocky Marciano, the all-time heavyweight champion of the world. He earned it the hard way tonight, defeating a man that must be scored right with him, Jack Dempsey. And we'll be right back with a summary of this fight and this tournament. Guy, if you can still speak, speak.
Oh, barely, Murray, just barely. Never in my lifetime did I expect to see or report 3 fights like the ones we've had these 3 past weeks. And this one tonight, between Dempsey and Marciano, simply topped them all. What a battle, what a war.
War is right. Where could you possibly go from here?
Home to bed, I would hope, Murray. After those 15 weeks of mayhem,
I never may be able to broadcast another fight.
Well, I certainly hope that's not true, guys, since we have a few more broadcasting innovations up our sleeves, and the boys in the computer room are already hard at work.
Okay, well, let's quickly sum up tonight's great championship fight. This was extremely even right up to the knockout. Incredible. Believe it or not, Dempsey won the first, the second, the seventh, and the 12th rounds. Rocky won the third, the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th. And, of course, the knockout round. The 4th, the 5th, the 6th, and the 11th rounds were even.
And then when the knockout occurred, the fight was actually all even, with 4 rounds for Marciano, 4 rounds for Dempsey, and 4 rounds even.
Yep, that's right, Murray, and it's interesting to note that the only rounds Marciano won were the ones in which he managed to drop Jack to the canvas. And in a couple of those, if it had not been for the knockdown, Dempsey would probably have won the round on points.
Guys, stop. You're going to start a whole new set of arguments.
Probably.
Kidding aside, though, it's true. I don't believe there have been, ever, a pair in the ring as closely matched as these two fighters were tonight. And the incredible ability of Marciano to resist being knocked down, the ability to take a punch, must go down as the deciding factor in this brawl tonight. Let's review our selectors panel and see how well they predicted this fight.
This is the part I love. Murray, this is the way Joe Louis looked at it.
At least you know nobody would have backed up. If Dempsey didn't cut Marciano would have a good chance.
Well, nobody backed up, and although Marciano's nose and mouth were thoroughly cut up, and early in the fight, too, he finally got Dempsey.
And Angelo Dundee said,
Tough fight. Decision, possibility of a TKO, late rounds, Marciano winner.
Marciano winner, good call.
But Chris Dundee, Angelo's brother, liked Dempsey, and he said,
Both men throwing down and both men being down.
I'd have to pick Jack Dempsey over Rocky Marciano.
Well, it was a bomb-throwing contest that everybody expected all right.
Nat Fleischer, the dean, liked Dempsey, too.
Jack Dempsey was a man who possessed quite a bit of ring science, which Marciano did not have. I'd pick Jack Dempsey to win that fight.
Yeah, but this was no night for science. Rocky had Dempsey down 5 times.
Hey, listen to this. Hank Kaplan, who has done so well picking these fights, like Dempsey. I guess this was quite a surprise to him.
Jack Dempsey's superior ability to throw the short punch and possibly a greater ring-wise ability will eventually be the telling factor in this fight. I believe that Dempsey will stop Rocky Marciano in the 14th round.
Rocky was very confident before the fight, just as he has been throughout the tournament.
I don't think the fight would have gone the limit. It would have had to be a knockout. Jack, they tell me, would get tired in the middle stages of a fight. I have been known really never to take a breather and to fight 3 minutes of each round. I think that perhaps I might have had an edge in the middle rounds with Jack Dempsey.
Rocky started to come on after being worked over in the first 6 minutes. He had Dempsey down in the 3rd, in the 8th, in the 9th, and again in the 10th. He certainly didn't let down.
Jack Kearns, Jr. wouldn't make a call, but he was close enough on this prediction.
It could go 15 rounds, and they'd both need 6 months of recuperation in a hospital. I think that would be World War III.
From the start of this tournament, everybody thought Marciano had a great chance to win it.
Jack Sharkey. Jack, what's Marciano like?
When he hits you, you know you got hit. The guy was a terrific fighter.
And Jim Braddock said,
Marciano, the great fighter that he was, and we got to concede that he was not losing any fights. He was the strongest fella, heavyweight, I've seen around in the past 25 or 35 years.
And Jack Kearns Jr. saw a lot of Marciano, and like everyone else who ever watched him in action, Jack was impressed.
He came to fight. When you fought Rocky Marciano, you had to bring your lunch because you were going to be there a while. Mm-hmm. And if it was 5 rounds or 20 rounds or 50 rounds, Rocky'd be in there, winging away at the end just like at the beginning. Rocky'd hit you in the elbow, and the next time he'd hit you on top of the head, and the next time he'd hit you on the side and in the back or wherever he could. And he'd hurt you every time he'd hit you. Fighters would say when they got through fighting Rocky that they just hurt everywhere. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just lumps on their head, it was everywhere.
He just hit anything he could see.
Anything. And not a dirty fighter. Rocky was just throwing punches. If he hit you low, you couldn't stop to argue because the next punch is coming right after it, and the referee didn't have time to step in.
And Chris Dundee, the Miami Beach boxing promoter, has this to say about Mr. Marciano.
One of the toughest fighters that ever lived. Rocky had one good thing going for him. He had condition. He was always in great condition. And Rocky could punch. Rocky could hit you in the arms and paralyze you. And he could take a good punch. As heavyweights go, he was not a big man. He was a small fellow. And his arms were very short. So Rocky had to depend on his strength and stamina and heart. He had all heart.
And Angelo Dundee comments on our all-time champion.
Well, I have to say that The Rock was the most underrated heavyweight of all time. Because to me, The Rock was not given any credit for his effectiveness. In other words, he was very effective at getting away from punches, and all they ever said was he took punches. His ability to absorb punishment, come back, and hurt you. He's the only heavyweight that I know could punch out of a slip and hit you with 10 punches on the way up out of the slip. In other words, it's a very difficult maneuver. A lot of credit's got to go to Charlie Goldman, who got a massive man and developed him into a fighting machine. In other words, I seen him when he looked like he had 2 left foot. He couldn't even walk properly. And I think he did a fantastic job, and he is the only heavyweight champion that retired undefeated.
Here's Hank Kaplan. He likes our all-time champion, too.
Rocky is the kind of a guy who never lets up on his attack. He has one of the most sustained attacks of all heavyweights of all times. And who knows if anybody who ever fought as a heavyweight was able to hit as hard as Rocky Marciano.
We'll be back in 1 minute. Now, here's the all-time heavyweight champion himself, Rocky Marciano, and here's how he feels about boxing.
I just can only say that I enjoyed it. I liked it. I never really knew fear. I never was really hurt. And I just think that in my prime, I could have fought with anybody alive.
Rocky, what's it like to be heavyweight champion of the world?
Pretty difficult to really explain it other than it's a great feeling of confidence. A feeling that you have done your job well and that you are the best of the fighters in the world. It's not only a United States deal, it's an international feeling that you can beat anybody in the world that has tried to take up the profession. And it's a great feeling to know that in a rough business you are the best, and because of it people accept you and people look up to you. In fact, there are all kinds of walks of life that respect a man that can take care of himself and win the title and do it right.
Did you ever have the feeling that John L. Sullivan expressed so well that you can lick any man in the house?
Yes, of course, you feel this deep down inside, but of course every champion is of a different nature. I would never, ever make that statement, nor did I ever show that I was the best man in the house or in the stadium or in the auditorium. It was just a quiet, confident feeling of being able to talk to just anybody and knowing that they respected you for what you were able to do.
You really worked hard at it, Rocky.
Well, I think that I became a dedicated fighter, and because I had single-mindedness, a purpose of winning the title, I just overcame a lot of handicaps. A lot of people thought I had too short a reach to be a heavyweight champion. A lot of people thought I wasn't big enough to be a heavyweight champion. I have the big legs and was not too fast in the ring. The one thing I really had was strength. Body punching became a very important phrase of my fighting. I hurt many opponent and was able to bring their guard down so that eventually I could punch them to the chin and take them out.
And you take a good punch, Rocky.
I think that because I trained as hard as I did, I became strong and rugged and was not afraid to take a punch and realized I had to get in close to do most damage. And so I was prepared for it. I was geared for it. And when I got into a fight, I took punishment the first couple of 3 rounds, usually losing the early rounds, but was able to bore in and do damage with my short arm punching. That is where the arms are very close together and able to put a lot of power into 6 and 8 inch punching.
You pretty much depended on getting your opponents on the ropes.
I wasn't a boxer, so I had to stay away from the middle of the ring, which I did in all of my fights. Most of my knockouts, I would say about 95% of my knockouts came when I had my opponent against the ropes. Only a couple where the opponent was in the middle of the ring. My big advantage was to bull him, slug with him, and then find an opening.
I think to the general public, especially to those fans who never saw you fight, It was a surprise the way you demolished big men all your life, like you did in this tournament with Jim Jeffries and Max Baer.
Well, hitting down, too, has its disadvantages. I know I fought men who were much bigger than myself, and as they were punching downward, it did not have the same effect as if they were punching straight ahead or even punching up. Now, I have knocked out a lot of guys because I was able to punch going upwards. It just seems to have a lot more force to it. Whereas when you punch down, some of the force is taken away, and somehow you don't get a clean shot. You're able to ride with a punch or block most of them or smother them. And I've never been knocked. I've been knocked down twice, but both punches came from men smaller than myself. I have never been knocked down or don't ever remember of being hurt with a punch that came from high to low.
And the big punch of your own had a lot to do with it, of course.
Of course, the first good punch landed always does have an effect. I think this is a very important part of fighting. In fact, I based my whole ring strategy on that particular thing. I try to land the first good punch because sometimes it would make the opponent cautious, or it could hurt him and make openings. It could change his complete style. It could get him so confused that he would try other things.
That was all-time heavyweight champion Rocky Marciano. And we'll be right back after this word. With your permission, ladies and gentlemen, we want to take this moment to thank all the wonderful people who helped us put the all-time heavyweight tournament together. The fighters themselves, the trainers, our referee, Ruby Goldstein, Angelo Dundee, the manager and trainer, and his brother Chris, the matchmaker and promoter, as well as Hank Kaplan of the World Boxing Historians Association and Nat Fleischer of Ring Magazine, Hank Myers of Systems Programming and Services, Dr. Yowell of National Cash Register, whose genius made the computer work so brilliantly. And, of course, Franklin Ollie at Ben Scott Recording of Miami, whose technical brilliance made this series come alive. And one more group, Marilyn Warner, Elsie Herring, Linda Bosch, Phyllis Starling, and Terry Napier, whose patient handling of difficult jobs was done so well. It would have been impossible to put the tournament together without all these people. It was a great experience for us all working with them. And we'd like to remind you, keep listening to this great radio station. One of these days, real soon, we'll be back with another great radio feature. We'd like you to join us then. Till then, this is Murray Warner.
And Guy LeBeau.
Good night.